Dear empath, you are perfect. You are evolved. And today, I want to share with you some things to think about on your empathic journey. I have had the joy of working with so many empaths over the years. I have taught thousands of students all over the globe and so many empaths. So here's my disclaimer right out of the gate. I'm not an empath. I have empathic moments, but I wouldn't categorize myself as an empath because I don't experience some of the same things that an empath does. And while it's very common to hear about the struggles of empaths out there, I want to talk to you today about what's magical and amazing about empaths. And if you are an empath, I really want you to hear this. And you're going to most likely know all of it, but sometimes it's great to hear it. And for those that are non-empaths, this is a great video to watch too. Maybe a little bit of understanding will come out of it as to why empaths are dealing with what they're dealing with. For me, when I see an empath, I see someone who is more deeply connected. I'll say it this way. When you say we're all connected, it's a sentence you hear quite frequently in the spiritual world because we are. We're all connected. We all come from source. We all come from unconditional love. And at some level, we are all connected with each other energetically and spiritually. It's a beautiful thing. A non-empath would sit down and say, that's interesting. Let me sit down, meditate, relax, and feel the connection. And an empath, if you said to them, we're all connected, they'd go, yeah, you didn't know that? I feel it every day. They don't need to sit down to step into it. They're in it. An empath is deeply connected and having to navigate this human world, whereas a non-empath is a little less connected and able to navigate the human world. And when they want to, they can meditate in, tap in to being connected. So in essence, that's what I've seen over the years with empaths, is that being connected in, feeling energetically what's around you isn't a choice. It's not something that you are able to compartmentalize and step into when you want to step into and not step into when you don't want to step into. Now, with this said, there is no victim category falling anywhere in this discussion at all. Empaths are amazing. Being an empath is not something bad. It's an ability. It is being highly connected. It is a beautiful thing. And there are ways to be able to navigate in this world as an empath with a little time and a little patience. Using certain tools, you are able to compartmentalize when you really need to, set up those energetic boundaries when you really need to. So it's just different. It's just different. Somebody that's wired to be compartmentalized and not completely feel all of the attachments and the connections has to let those boundaries down a little bit so that they open themselves up to feeling what's around them. An empath always feels what's around them, so they need to use tools to learn how to compartmentalize and set up those boundaries so that they can also have that human existence as well. Because being open all the time, no, I personally think it's pointless. I think it's great for people that say, oh, I'm intuitive, I'm open all the time, I'm picking up everything. I think you're missing out on some of the human experience. I really do. Otherwise, why did you come down here, right? Why did you come here? And for empaths, it's a matter of they need to focus in so they can balance in so they can have their human experiences that they're constantly having. Whereas someone who is not an empath needs to take their time out and set up the tools so that they can have more spiritual experiences. I think empaths are absolutely beautiful and powerful, misunderstood, and if they're alive today, they are dealing with individuals who don't quite get what it feels like to always feel everything around you. So this is my shout out to say to empaths today. You are evolved. You are connected. You have access to more than most. And while that can be difficult on a day-to-day basis, and I encourage you to use the tools to help you be able to navigate the situations you need to navigate, I want you to hear that you're amazing. You're absolutely amazing. And any chance that an empath can take to step out of the struggle feeling and step into a feeling of empowerment and balance works for me. I'm your cheerleader. I want that for you. I absolutely want you to be able to navigate. But I think being an empath is part of the next phase of this spiritual awakening. And I don't mean empaths are special, non empaths aren't. I don't mean that empaths are advanced and non empaths aren't. I mean, empaths already have a leg up, they already have a link in. And learning how to, like I said, compartmentalize and use the tools that you need to in order to engage with the human activities and stay balanced and not overwhelmed is really just the opposite of a non empath learning to use the tools to tap into something that you, as an empath, already are tapped into. So, boundary setting is important. I'm not saying anything an empath doesn't know. And for non empaths, opening up that space, opening up those boundaries, opening up, taking off the blinders is really important as well. In general, there's a few takeaways that I want you to take away from this session. It doesn't matter where you land. There's going to be tools that you need to apply in order to balance between your spiritual and your human worlds. For empaths, they're knee deep in that spiritual world. They're applying tools so that they can balance into their human world. For non empaths, they're knee deep in the human world and they're balancing to get reconnected. They're using the tools to balance and get reconnected back into the spiritual world. The other takeaway I want is that there's nothing broken or wrong with being an empath. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Empaths constantly pull from a source of compassion, from a source of unconditional love, from a source of caring. And I gotta tell you, I know some people that could use a little bit of that. So, for everyone out there that struggles with their empathic abilities, I want you to know that every step you take toward balancing, creating tools, learning tools to help you navigate through the human experience is one step closer to reducing some of the struggles that you have as an empath. And your empathic abilities are beautiful, they're powerful, they're strong, and they can be used in really, really amazing ways. But step one, get those energetic boundaries set up, get used to using them. Start with GCP. If you've been following me for a while, you know what GCP is, but wow, can GCP be very, very empowering to empaths. That is probably the number one tool that I have seen help all the empaths that I've taught over the years. It has made a huge difference for them. And it's a tool that you can have in your back pocket that you can use at any point. Bring it out and just say in 2 seconds, all right, GCP. Might not solve everything, but it's going to be your first foundational step to creating the tools that you need to be able to navigate in this world. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy, beautiful connections. And sometimes for an empath, even though you have all of those connections, they can be a little overwhelming to dive into because on a day-to-day basis, you're trying to just navigate through your human existence. I totally get it. I don't get it on a personal level, but I've seen it with so many people. And I've seen empaths be able to create boundaries that allow them to feel stronger and more solid and more grounded on their path. Then I want that for you too. Start with GCP. See if it helps kind of balance different situation. See if it helps you as an empath. If you're an empath, see if it helps you to be able to distinguish what you do want to take on versus what is simply around you that is you're gonna just take on normally. GCP is going to give you that filter, and I think it's going to be really, really helpful for you. Beyond that, I would say after building these tools, after setting up these energetic boundaries that give you more control over what you want to step into energetically and what you don't want to step into energetically. Beyond that, I would say don't forget to see your empathic abilities as a strength, as an absolute strength. You have the ability to heal, you have the ability to bring people together, you have the ability to raise the energetics of love in a room. You have abilities that are beautiful and unique to you. Never forget that. You're awesome. If you've made it to the end of this video, chances are good you're an empath and this is making a lot of sense to you. Here's the next video. I want you to click on it and watch it. It's going to help you tremendously.